4th of July or after 4th of July or something like that. Where I used to live, they kept running fireworks all night long, every now and then. Every once in a while, I hear a big bang. Shit. I think those are fireworks. So this should have been titled Soul Contracts, but yeah, when I was writing it out, I feel like Spirit Contracts is the way to word it. So that's interesting. So, same thing, or I guess they can be different, but whatever. So Soul Contracts, yeah, just I imagine this comes to mind to some people. It's you can put your energy to clear it out. Well, your path is hard to clear. I mean, you can clear it. How much difference it'll make? I mean, clear individuals out of your contract to the best of your ability. When you do like an energy clearing, that's definitely you can do that. Doesn't mean you'll get rid of them physically. But yeah, it's a big. As you can say, it's a big deal for sure. But there's always contracts on so many different levels with the animals. And some contracts happen right away. Obviously, you wonder why nothing happens between A and B, and all of a sudden, like you're trying to get somewhere, and then all of a sudden things start happening because there's a contract for that specific day. Like if you're looking for a job, you can't get a job for any day, and then this one day shows up, and all of a sudden things start happening. So a contract. So yeah, it's kind of frustrating too because we can't see anything. Not really. I mean, we can tap into some levels of it, but we're not allowed to see things because that's the point of being here. One of the biggest difficulties, obviously, we can't see the outcome, but that's kind of the point of being here. So yeah, it's confusing. You don't have to think too much deeply into it, but it's good to clear out certain individuals out of your field, and of course you can put the intentions for a new contract for your incarnation if that even works. But it's good to clear out blockages from anyone that could be blocking you energetically. Anyone comes to mind, or just put your intentions to clear out any type of blocks. Use candles also for that. The red candle is good for that also. Just a regular red candle, just so you burn people's names. Write it down, burn it. Burn it somehow. Whatever works for you. But red candle is good for clearing out frequencies. It's used for spell work and things like that. Of course, it's best to have the best intentions. If you have like negative intentions, you can easily, if you don't know what you're doing, you can still come back to you, but I think it can come back to you anyway. Yeah, some people do. Always when I started out, there's spellcasters. Yeah, and there was this one spellcaster, and she said, I think she thought she was clearing out karma. Like she would send like a negative spell to somebody, but I believe it came back to her like several times over. But I'm not sure if she ever really noticed it because she has a lot of bad luck. So I think it's all brought on for what she's doing. So yeah, it's a tricky stuff there. Also, where life is a game, as you can see, or a game of chess, or however you want to word it. This is a reality show, I guess. It's actually got the image of. I guess you can say it is a life and death situation, obviously, right? It's kind of like a game show to some level. It's was it Running Man with Arnold Schwarzenegger? I did get like an image of that a while back, well, not too long ago, but and this is kind of like that, but we don't have like a game show host standing over us and just leading us to our death. But there is some truth to that in this incarnation. There is betting also, which I wasn't aware of. Somebody told me about that, which makes sense. Betting on what direction we go in. So there is some free will. You can always just give up and be devoured, or keep going, no matter how. Well, like you have any choice anyway, right? With those that like let the darkness take over and they become like a Joker parasite being or something like that. That's imagine if you bet on that. It's like, is this person going to evolve or turn into a creature? So that's all done energetically. Imagine if that was done like physically, that would drive people insane. I Life is a game too. Imagine if that would be on people's lives. All that would just yuck. Yeah, something to think about. Uh, Interesting. Yeah, it is a thing. At least it's some reality. It's kind of like the Truman Show in some regard there. All right, so we'll see what we can pick up here. Yeah, you don't have to think too deeply into that. It's avatar.com, private sessions, scheduler, have a shop here. So, like my channel, it's like I've been doing this for like 9 years now, going on 10 years. And my numbers cannot grow worth a damn. I think they're going down more than up. It's like, geez, it's like I feel like there's such a suppression out there. I mean, one thing about YouTube, at least it's more convenient to watch it because it's just easier. Because Rumble sucks. And of course, it's Twitter. That's not too bad. Rumble's not so great. It'd be nice if that was a better experience, and then that wouldn't matter. But of course, they have their issues. I mean, not just that, but they have their issues of censorship too. So, if from what it feels like, they all have their own version of it. So, but yeah, this channel is getting suppressed like a bastard, though. Shit. Oh, well, it's just the way it goes. So, so think of it. I'm just on YouTube for a matter of convenience. Let's put it that way. For viewing convenience, which is no ads either. Can't beat that. Of course, it's not helping me on my end. But anyway, but for viewing experience, it's not too bad. I imagine you don't have to do those crappy ads. Until I can get that to work, which I'm not sure if that's ever going to work. So anyway, somebody's here. They're running around in the background. You can hear them. So all right, we're going to spirit contracts and then going to spiritual warfare, the game. I've done this. I've done the game channeling probably quite some time ago. So yeah, it's been a long time. So this is like an updated version. So all right, here we go. Greetings to you, the consciousness from higher astral, for your highest good, your highest convenience. One moment. Your contracts are for different reasons of what's most important to you, and of course, as parasitic beings can attach themselves to it. They can also read it. Where you can't. Well, obviously, in a higher level, you can see it, but other beings can see it too. Not always everything, but they can pick up on the frequencies and invade it. That's why sometimes you have certain individuals come in your life that is like, where did that come from? And so, yeah, because you're on this planet, there is some. It's kind of like you can read a contract online. It's kind of like that. Yes, it's protected. They can't alter it, but they can see portions of it or connect to the frequencies of it. But don't get too worried about that. I mean, you're on the planet, so you're going to attract all kinds of things. So it's like, you can't keep. And in the higher astral, everything's usually pretty open anyway. So this is what I'm here to do. And obviously you can't remember. It's like, hey, everybody, this is what I'm doing. This is, secrets aren't normally known. Of course, when you get closer to this dimension, it gets more protected because you come more into the physical and, but yeah, but also realize some of you add challenges to yourselves to see if in some ways, are you worthy or ready for a turning point in your life, whatever it might be? Sometimes it sounds strange saying this. Sometimes having children is easier than doing a lot of other things in life. Of course, that's not easy either. But Some just choose to have. Let's put it this way: some just choose to have kids instead of just, we're gonna have to keep it general. Just certain like events in their life that like maybe world changing for them. So some of them some individuals might have like be a celebrity of some kind, whatever, chef or whatever. It doesn't have to be huge, but it's just local, whatever it is, and you're not into that. Just rather just have the kids, just live low key and just not worry, just not deal with it. Maybe become known here and there. But you can also reject that too. There's also other scenarios that connected to that. But the contracts, yes, there's new ones made all the time. That's true. But there is a main contract that you come in on that kind of like a skeleton version. It can be altered here and there, but normally, like the main events in your life, you will run into them in your experiences. It is frustrating because because you probably feel that there's something coming, but it might be 5-10 years down the line or longer. For whatever it is. So especially those that are trying to or want to bring in have kids, for example, find the right partner is some find it very easily. Yeah, like single parent energy sometimes is better just to because sometimes it's easier with a single parent than the two parents. Sometimes it is. And it's never easy, but it can be worse with the two parents, as some of you realize that. But and a lot of times, as some of you know, that your human self feels like you need this, but you're experiencing something else. And yeah, there's different reality. Yeah, just that you feel like your mind wants certain, and that's sometimes it's programming with society, but also is your soul. Well, a lot of times this means you just haven't reached what you're here to do yet. Like you feel like you're here to do some kind of life goal or whatever it might be, and you just haven't quite reached it yet. Of course, also, I mean, if it has to do with like alien disclosures and all that, obviously, you see the world is not, I mean, you're doing it energetically. But for alien disclosure here, as you can see, the collective is not necessarily asking for it to the level as you might see it as. For actual like extraterrestrial contact, there's just a lot of back. Yeah, it's not just from government; it's society too. Society is still trying to figure itself out. Of course, some might not like to hear that, but as you can see, I mean, they can barely do it foreigners of your own world, let alone foreigners from another planet. Foreigners from another planet, as similar to like your science fiction, like you create your science fiction, Jules Verne, and so on, and it becomes more part of your reality. There are some cases like that. Now, alien invasions, that's more like a fear-based reality. And it's probably best glad, yeah, the Mars invasions, be glad that's not occurring. I mean, it is to some level, but not to the level of just a World War III situation. Those worlds do exist. Are they trying to manifest those places here? Just like the Terminator realities are just showing you there's versions out there that other versions of Earth. Doesn't mean it's going to come here, but some of you are from those places. Yeah, like the Martian invasion, like World of Worlds. You hear about the zombie energies, which is, as you can see, society can be very zombie-like. It just without going into all the details of that, it's just part of they're so used to being programmed by society. But some of you obviously in a more awakened state. Of course, being awakened, there's different levels of that too. A lot of dark beings that call themselves awakened, obviously manipulating reality, so on. So, but you're here to for contract energy. It cannot be altered very easily, but you're the one normally that signs off on it. Let's put it that way. Even if you kind of disagree with why you signed off on all this, sometimes your scenarios are not the best scenarios, but you kind of just go with it anyway. So it doesn't mean just because you have a contract, it doesn't mean it's going to be perfect. Doesn't mean you're going to have like the white picket fence incarnation or just supermodel or whatever it is that you're looking for. Just certain sometimes yes, the little things matter most. Like having a right animal in your life or just one individual. Yeah, it's just some of you are living like the single life. A lot of times you work better alone. I mean, yes, it might be nice to have a partner, but if a partner is not aligning with you energetically, it's better to be alone. It might, yeah, it is kind of, I don't want to call it sad, but it is kind of, kind of like your a partnership's kind of like you're recruiting a partner for, for your journey, but some don't make the cut for whatever reason. And yeah, it's only been solo here, but sometimes you just have to just go with it because you'd be surprised how many are just not ready. They feel like they are, but obviously bringing all their baggage and they can just tear you down. And yes, you can choose that too. You could be on your path, bring in someone that's toxic into your life, and everything halts. Now, we're not advertising that, but that can happen. That's up to the individual yourself to choose on that, though. Yes. So sometimes, how many people want a partner in their life and they bring one in, and then your life is never the same again. It's not what you want it to be. And you can literally, it's like, it can stop. I mean, you're evolving, yes, but maybe that's the way you hope it too. So, but you have your reasons for that. So, yeah, it's a touchy subject there. And somebody, everyone has their own scenario with that. So, right. Greetings to you. The higher astral, connected to your game realities, connected to your spirit guide, frequent higher self realities, oversoul realities, and so on. Your just now the game here, this world. Well, every world has their own a own game. It's all just theater to some level, but there is a. Well, we don't always necessarily see it in that way, though. It just comes off as that here. It's it's like you're kind of like checking the boxes of your incarnation, kind of. But it's like it's all about experiences, basically. It's about experiences of expanding your soul, expanding yourself. Just it's all about, as you call it, growth. But your energy actually gets lighter, stronger through all these experiences. You can call it a game, but it's like, yeah, it might feel like you're a pinball in a pinball machine to some level. But even with that, you're still growing. And there are some here that, like, so they become part of the game. Like they become the tricksters instead. So many of you are just the players of this. You're the user, whatever you want to call yourself, member, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, we'll just leave it at that. We don't really have a name for it. But people that become darker want to be the ones that are controlling the game. Yeah, they have control issues, narcissistic energies. A lot of it's control. It's like it's easier to control others than themselves. And it just doesn't mean they have the best intentions. Not like, no. Well, some of them, they just lose. Yes, you can come here and lose your identity and just be lost for a long time. Like it's like right before becoming a ghost. And some of you run into those. Some of them are just too much on drugs, whatever, too much toxic energy, whatever. Well, yeah, it's going to the parents. Some parents are extremely toxic, or and relatives, friends, whatever. But usually you see in a family situation, just because like it's family, you kind of get pushed into, oh, look, it's a holiday. It's like, oh. And of course you have friend situations, but sometimes those are easier to cut off sometimes. Of course, friends are like a family life too. It's like your other family, your angelic family, and your human family. Yes, can be two different things. Yeah, definitely. Your family, your friend's family can be more of your soul family, and your family incarnate, just your human family. It's not necessarily your soul family. You'll know who it is if they are soul group. It doesn't mean it's everybody. And that makes things difficult, of course. But that's the point. Is incarnate. Not everybody is supposed to be. Well, some family members decide to be difficult for whatever reason. Oh, you're here. I'm gonna test the hell out of you for whatever reason. But those that are very selfish, narcissistic, they feel like it's almost like more fun being the trickster being than the human. Because I do feel humans are kind of guinea pigs, and there's some truth to that. You're here, you don't remember anything, you're wandering, but there's souls here that they want power. They want to know what's going on. They're like trickster type beings. They become that slowly. Doesn't mean they know everything, but they can bring in a certain power that can manipulate realities and some energy vampires and so on. Yeah. So it's yeah, no, this is where it is kind of like a movie. I mean, it technically is a theater to some level. It's I don't know how you want to look at it, but it really is about you, yeah, moving through the realities of this life. It's kind of like canoeing or you're on a river raft type of situation and so on. You can look at it different ways. It just there's times when you have a calm current and then it was insane. But like on a river, you don't know where you're gonna go. You don't know what's gonna happen. You're gonna fall apart, whatever it is, or get through it. Is there a waterfall, and so on. Yeah, it's just so obviously everyone's different here. But some to choose a more plain, boring, back to the woods of life. Just really, just they're not ready for all the challenges here. But they see others going through challenges. You ever have? We'll just go back to the family members. The family members are sitting there. Their lives are what you call normal, but then you have like one situation or one family member, might be yourself. It's like all this chaos happens all the time. This happens, that happens, and they're just looking. But they're seeing also, they observe it. They're also seeing like, is that something we want to experience? It's like, I don't know, it seems like the grass is greener where we are, but obviously they're around you, they're helping you through the situation, and also see if that's something they want to incarnate into in some future time here in this world or other worlds. And those of you who have a lot of chaos energy, now first off, some are just obsessed with that stuff. It's just part of their growth. It's like their version of television to some level, but they also, once again, are obsessed with experiences. Yeah, there is there. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It can be overwhelming, but you can be obsessed with just want to experience this, that. You want to experience all these things. And it can be just complete chaos. But it doesn't mean you're a negative being. It's just that there's knowledge there. I mean, might be some darkness there, but it's also just a lot of soul growth. Sometimes you go through those chaotic timelines so you can finally clear it out. The contracts, once again, connected to that, karmic contracts, whatever it is. So, and some of you might have like a very quiet life, like you want it more. There's more to it than that, and sometimes that's the calm before the storm. And yeah, there's situations you might not have really like why did that happen, but there is a growth process to what you're getting to your main timeline, the timeline that you're looking for. Of course, remember everybody's different, but there's a build up for it. You can't just jump onto this, you just have, like you want to be an actor, but you kind of have to learn how to act. You have to learn, you have to go through some kind of schooling. Of course, some just start as child stars, but even there, they still have to learn. It's still a learning to get to the level that you want to. Of course, a lot of those child stars burn out really quickly. So there is that. Hey, I have this bit of talent. I'm going to use it, and then you just wipe yourself out. There are cases like that. You just burn yourself out, and you just go live a simple life somewhere. So, but the game frequencies, yeah, you can tap into like what is your version of the game? Is it chess? Is it Super Mario Brothers? Whatever it is, we're just putting that out there. Is it ping pong? You feel like you're a ping pong ball in in a ping pong machine or whatever they call it. There might be some of that, but sometimes, yeah, it's like you work at a company where you're running into managers and all of that. It's like you're around it, but then you bounce away from it and so on. So just another ways of looking at your life from a game perspective, whatever it might be. Now, chess reality, like what you're for this. So this Earth is on a chess, like you look at it from chess perspective. This Earth is kind of like you could say out to beat you or try to. Like it's, as some of you noticed, it's like it's there to challenge you. It's like, can you get through all these challenges I have for you? It doesn't mean there's really. I mean, it's up to the individual if they failed. Obviously, we're not going to go into that, but it is there to challenge. It's just incarnate is going to throw a lot at you, as you can see. It might not be the most exciting incarnation. Also, if you feel like things are not going the way you'd like it to, just very slow and boring. Yes, can you get through slow and boring? Doesn't mean that you're a boring person. Because you'd be surprised. It's just you're one that's you don't have to have a too exciting life because sometimes the excitements here aren't that exciting. Yeah, because you're also grounding your energy. Like some of you probably realize you can do a lot, but also conserving your energy for whatever it is. Spiritual work connected to the astral, whatever it is. So you wonder why you're not going to this place, that place. Why aren't you doing all these things? You're probably capable of doing, but I say keep things very simple because it's about, yes, conserving frequency. It's very important there. Doesn't mean you can't live and all that, you will, but there's reasons for it. So, but yeah, just seeing your life, whatever game that comes to mind. Some of you can have fun with that. Is it Hangman? It might not be you playing Hangman, but might be friends or family members playing that on you or whatever. Maybe you are playing to some level, but it doesn't mean you have to play by their rules. So blessings.